Howdy, it's Matt, and in this video we need a chit chat. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, you may already notice that there's a collection of foam on the desk, and I'm trying to laminate that and not my leg. Those of you which have seen the community tab might have seen the scar which I've recently been left with from that iron. But right, let's start at the very beginning. Number one, I am absolutely humbled by the positive and such friendly and kind messages which I've been received over the last couple of weeks. It's been really nice to see that, and I would like to say thank you to those of you who have been particularly supportive and as excited as what I was to be back. I was a little bit timid to begin with, but I have genuinely been blown away by the very nice comments and messages which have been sent via YouTube, indirectly, text message ironically, and on Messenger and via Facebook too. So thank you is what I'm trying to say to start off with number one, okay? Number two is really important, is that all future updates which I intend to make will be published via YouTube. Now, this is via the community tab, and I will put a quick walkthrough on how you find that, and also show you how to make sure that you are getting these updates, because look, there's multiple models going on here at the moment, and we'll get to some future foam and some future projects in a moment, and unlike before, we don't have Facebook, and you don't have that tool available for you to be kept up to date with the things which are going on the projects which are being worked on here in the background. So the best place for you to do that is that, well, number one is that make sure you press the bell notification next to the subscribe button, and obviously if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell notification, and then hit all for all notifications. The second thing for that is that you may or may not get in your feed on YouTube, whether you're using your mobile phone, a pad or your desktop, is that when you go to the home page, is that you may or may not see updates from the Rag the Nuts Off channel. Now, I am trying just to keep it to just 3 updates per day, sometimes 2, sometimes 6, but there are multiple updates going on, and as I'm here talking, I know that I'll do an overlay and show you like the kind of updates which have been going on. And you can find this tab specifically, and you can find that by going to the Rag the Nuts Off channel and then clicking on the community tab. Now, just to give you a quick heads up, those of you which are using mobile, I have been playing with the stories format. I'm a bit 50-50 on that, but we'll give it a whirl for the future as well. So I will still continue to play with that, but just be aware with the stories, they only last a couple of days, and I'm seeing mixed results with those. Right, so yeah, that was number 2. Number 3 are comments. Now, the return is purely focused upon YouTube, a mistake which perhaps I made back a long time ago, and something which I'm looking to correct the second time around. So obviously I would like to focus on the platform which I'm creating content upon, and that is YouTube. So your comments, your feedback, your opinions, good or bad, I hasten to add. Remember, and hopefully you do too, treat this hobby as fun, especially fun with friends, okay? Just a nice, enjoyable sideline to real life. And also, crucially, is that the one approach which I take, which is absolutely key, which is it's similar to the sciences. And the things with the sciences is that actually it's okay to be wrong at times. So there's nothing wrong with, like in science for example, having a hypothesis, then going off and then doing testing, and then finding one set of results and then publishing those results, and then going on and doing further results and then find out that you were completely wrong and it was something else. That's okay. That is part of the journey, especially with the hobby, okay? You have experience does play a huge part, and that iron's getting really hot, so we're gonna have to turn that off. That's the point. It's like science. It's okay to have an opinion one day and then find that you've disproven that a couple of days later. And one of the key things about that, and one of the nice things about this environment, is that you are able to provide the feedback and so that we can make these experiences an awful lot better and we can learn together. So do get involved with the comments and look out for replies. Again, in my notes in there is that my focus here is back exclusively upon YouTube, so that means that I need to keep up to date with any comments which you, or queries or things which you come in and post underneath these videos. Now, just give you a quick heads up, YouTube is not the best tool, believe it or not, right? YouTube is pretty terrible when it comes to comment management. So if you leave a new comment, so you just hit reply underneath this video for example and say howdy Matt, that appears in the top of the comments list when I go into YouTube to look at the comments which have come in. However, and that's happy days. However, if you reply to a previous comment, which we've been having a conversation about for something, for example, is that I don't see those updates. Now, I have been and developed a special tool so that I am able to see your replies, although I've got to be honest with, it's not even like version 1, it's a bit ropey, but it just about works. So I can see your replies eventually, and I am doing my best to spend 30 minutes each morning just to make sure, well, A, to answer any new comments which have come in, and B, to go back over any further comments which have come in replies later. Okay, but I just need to make you aware very early on is that I do have a limited amount of time, 30 minutes, which I set aside to that task specifically, and right now I'm cleaning them all within 10. Okay, but there will become a time in the future where I'm unable to answer every single comment and reply which comes in, and for that, A, I obviously do apologise, and B, I'm sure you can appreciate why, because there will end up being no hours left in the day to do that. So the next topic is models which are here on the workbench or on the way. The obvious one is the binary, which I'm sure many of you already know about, and I'm here just laminating the scoops. And there's an update which should come out in the next day or so, well, on the community tab, that I've been and cut off those silly air scoops, and I'm just here about to laminate these pods as well. Because I think that's the first thing which is going to get whack in the model. So we have, anyway, get into models. We have the binary. We've got a 1.4 meter Eagle, which I have set up. You may notice the iNav in there. You've got iNav in there as well. We've got a long range Z84, which is here ready to go to the farm on Sunday, which I'm desperately looking for it, but I don't know what I've done with it. Wow, 4S Li-ion battery pack. Oh, really looking forward to that, sharing that one with you. I have recorded the video on that one. It's a bit of a fun one with some of the editing, and I will get that one out shortly, like within the next 2 weeks to you, but I really want to get it out so I can get some real good FPV footage for you, so that I can get like a well-rounded episode together for that. The Goblin, which is underneath my feet, I feel a little bit guilty. The Goblin, I've only ever actually flown twice, and I didn't fly it the last time I went to the farm, so I need to get that out because it is a bit of a fast beast. And I don't know why I've not been flying it, so we need to have a look at the Goblin at some point in the near future. Oh, I've got a V900, Horizon Hobby V900, absolutely rips the sky, a new one, bangs around on 4S, so really easily over a ton. Wicked, mental model, really need to get some video footage out on that one. Obviously, the Drift as well. I cannot, in fact, I'm going to go and get that one. There has been very few models in the history of what I've been doing here which I have been overly impressed with, and besides the minor nuances with the Drift, I am loving it, absolutely loving it. In fact, the only suggestion which I think I've got for Zod or ZoHD, make us a bigger one. In fact, I'm going to do a video on that one. Is that like the biggest weakness of the Drift is that we need a bigger one because it is so cool to fly. Really am enjoying that one. Oh, and I also have a Zod Drift 250G on the way to me as well. Interested in that one, it has a little bit of a long range cruiser. Again, loading it up with iNav, Li-ion battery packs, and we'll do a little build video here on the desktop as well. Oh, one other model which is on the way to me literally right now is, now I'm pretty sure it's a fake one, although they have put the multiplex stickers on it, is the Fun Cub. I've always wanted, let me just get this right. I had a Tundra and I wasn't that impressed with it because it wasn't a Fun Cub. The Fun Cub just seems to be a better model, and I know those of you which have got a Tundra were going to argue with me, but I'm also sure that those of you which have got a Fun Cub are quite easily going to argue about those which have got a Tundra. The thing with like a Fun Cub here in the UK, it's 120 quid on a good day, and I want one, but I'm not paying 120 quid. And they're a 1.4 meter wing or 1.2 meter wingspan, and they're just very similar to a Tundra. However, what I did notice for just 40 quid is something very, very, very similar. In fact, they're calling it a Train Star, I think it is. Or no, sorry, they are calling it the Fun Cub, and I'll put a big picture and I'll put a link to it in the video description, which is a smaller 1 meter Fun Cub. They've even put the multiplex stickers on it. Now, I don't know whether, well, obviously, I don't know if it is multiplex selling this item. However, it looks an awful lot like the Fun Cub, and it looks like someone's found the mould and they're using the original mould. Remember, is that sometimes we see clones, or we see like the AR wing, what was it the HD wing, which is called like the Recruit or Skyray. It comes underneath different names, but it's all being made by the same company and it's all coming out the same mould. Right? It's just the packaging on the box, and we don't necessarily, we see this in many other walks of life as well. Just go on Amazon and you'll see one seller saying product A and then product B, but they've got two different products, but they're exactly the same thing, okay, just slightly different branding. That's basically what's going on here. So yeah, my highs are hope for that one, and I just want that one, well, A, because it's only 40 quid. Oh, and for absolute clarity, I did pay the extra 13 quid for expedited delivery because it's still less than half price than a Fun Cub, and I did use some points up on that as well, so it did make it a little bit cheaper. Now, the last 2 points which I've got, and as you see, I'm trying to get through these as fast as possible with you, and trying to exclude as much waffle as possible, which is that I am back, but it won't be like before. Whereas that I previously invested over the course of a year perhaps hundreds of hours into a certain group, that is, and again we just want to come back and address that one, is that got to the stage where I would post a video, remember that was its primary purpose, and you get like 2 views, which is wholly unacceptable for the amount of time and effort required to do that. And I've spoken to other Facebook group moderators and administrators, and they were also not prepared for the amount of work and effort which is required and the time which it takes up. So this time around I am very much focused upon creating content. I still have to be honest with you, I absolutely hate video editing, and I'm not entirely sure if we're going to go back to doing some live stuff. I'd quite like to do the live stuff because that was, it was always fun and very reactive because it was that conversation with you live. I'm sure we'll do something live in the future, and of course with live stuff there is no editing, which is absolutely fantastic for me, although it does mean that I need to be on my A game to be able to host something like that. So they are really good fun. We'll watch that space on the live stuff. However, what I'm also trying to say is that I am looking for feedback from you. What would you like to see from me in the future? And that's all I'm going to say on that, other than let me know in the comments section underneath this video. I'd really appreciate what kind of ideas or things which you would like to see over the next couple of months. And that's it. So that leaves me with the 2 words which are vitally important, which are very simply, thank you. And on that note, from myself, Matt, cheerios. Oh, and don't forget to make sure you press that bell icon, because you don't find out about these tiny little updates on the community tab, and there are quite a few, because there are many updates which are happening throughout the day. So with that said, for myself, Matt, cheerios.